Yes, again, Nigeria, you're welcome to Jump Out Nigeria. Like you know, this is not the normal and regular program you watch in Nigeria. This is out of the status quo. My name again is Taye Charles Okon, just like you know. Today we're going to be taking a bus stop in Ondo State, but before that, let me say compliment of the season. This is the first edition for the year 2020. Oh, isn't it nice to see you? Okay, so and we are going to be doing something before we go into the program properly, because last year we had a lot of series about Ondo State, and we talked about the ailing former governor of Ondo State, who is now unfortunately late, and that is Akeredolu Oluwarotimi Oduwayo Akeredolu. May his soul rest in peace. And I am personally consoling the immediate family, especially, and of course, the entire people of Ondo State, Southwest Nigeria, and Nigeria as a whole. Like you can see on the screen, I have a guest with me, like I always do. And of course, he is a human rights activist and the CEO of Savannah News, Canada and Nigeria. Jimi Adekanle, probably like you know him everywhere, fondly called Jaff. You're welcome on Jump Out Nigeria today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shai, for having me in your studio and being privileged to be your first guest for
2024.
2024.
Okay, yeah, we are just talking about something very controversial, like most people know, in Ondo State. Um, there has been a lot of controversy while the former governor, Akeredolu, was ill. And, a lot of things happened. People were asking a lot of questions. His whereabouts was not known to the people of the state. And we had that topic treated well on this program. But unfortunately, we all know that death is inevitable for every one of us. Like they say in Akure dialect of Ondo State, oh, Muko Yoni, death is inevitable. You can't shame people or mock with death. But even after the unfortunate passing of the Ondo State governor, a lot of controversies have continued to trail the Akeredolu's family, especially from the wife, and a lot of wrangling and stories, sad enough, coming and attacks, like people call it, against the former First Lady of Ondo State, Arabin Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu. And one will say that you might just be one of the favorite antagonist or critic of the former First Lady of Ondo State. On people's side, they may say, if you were a woman, they would want to ask, did it strike your husband? And I want us to clear that. The first thing I would like to ask you, most people are saying your criticism against the former First Lady is personal. So let's get that out.
Thank you, Tai. First of all, going by what you have read out, that most people did not know the whereabouts of Akeredolu. For me personally, I was following him, his activities. That is the late Rotimi Akeredolu. So for me, at every point in time, I know his whereabouts. Coming to your question, that whether I have a personal issue with Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, I don't really have any personal issues with her because one, I've never met her before in my life. Up to this moment, I've never met Betty at all. The only person I've met is the husband. We have met in various occasions, meetings, private meetings together during his sojourn in becoming the governor of Ondo State. So for me, I don't have any personal um, issues with Betty Akeredolu. What I have with her is a complex issue with her relating to how she came to my state and she turned herself to a terror in my state. And that's the reason why I voiced out and I just felt, look, we should not be quiet, you know. And that's the reason why I have been at loggerhead with her since the year 2019.
Wow, such a long time. And one would wonder, a person you've not met at all, also so that you know so much about her. You know, you released a statement recently and it has to do about a lot of, allegations against the former First Lady of Ondo State. And before we go into the content of that release, one would say that for a woman who is currently mourning the passage of her husband, that pretty kind of was too early. Maybe a breathing space should be given to her to maybe mourn her husband before you release such a statement.
Thank you. First of all, I want to put it straight to you, to the audience out there, that Betty is not, in capital, not mourning Rotimi Akeredolu of blessed memory. Betty is not.
How sure are you saying that?
Yes, they said. How sure am I? Let me tell you. They said actions speak louder than voice. As I told you earlier, I was following every activities of Rotimi Akeredolu from day one. When he fell sick, when they were taking him out of Nigeria, I was the first person to broke the news when they took him out of Ibadan airport at night, exactly 10 p.m. at night, en route to Kano, going to Germany. I was able, through my contact, I'm an investigative journalist, so I have my own way of getting my information. If you remember very well, go to my page, you will see there, I got the picture of the aircraft, and I broke the news. That was the mistake I made, because if not, I would have gotten his picture being rolled into the aircraft. But the moment I broke out the news, when I showed the picture of the aircraft that Akeredolu is to be flown out from Ibadan to Kano, from Kano en route to Germany, I blew the lid open, and it's like they got it on their own end, and they started taking precaution at the airport. Because when I posted that issue, at that very particular point in time, Akeredolu was still in the VIP lounge at the Ibadan airport. Right? So if not, I would have brought out when he was being wheeled in. So what they did, that when they knew that I've exposed or make it public that Akeredolu is in the airport on his way to Germany, they now took precaution. In a matter of fact, even my informant he escaped by whiskers, because they almost seized all the phones around the governor to scrutinize who was communicating with me. But he was so lucky to have gotten the whole thing covered. So from that end, when Akeredolu,
your informant was part of maybe the aid or somebody close to the former governor.
I won't say that. Don't worry. All I know is the informant was in the airport there at that point in time. And from that point, what they did was that they started taking precaution. And when they wanted to roll him out to the aircraft, which I'm supposed to have gotten the picture, as if I've not posted the news initially. They off the light at the airport, because they still didn't know where the news was coming out from. So Akeredolu was bundled out in a dark. I'm talking about the first outing to Germany. He was bundled out in a dark to the aircraft. So I was on the top of the game. I was on top of the game. Even in the house of Betty, I was on top of the game. She will tell you that some news comes out, she's surprised. And whenever she wakes up in the morning, all her actions in the government house about me, I will post it out. She'll be surprised. So I have, I'm a trained investigative journalist I'm opportune to be trained here in Canada, so I know how to get my information. And information is all about money. It's all about gratification. So I was able to get most of my information right in her doorstep, right in her house.
Wow. Okay, so before we go into the details of the statement you released in recent times, I would like us to go back memory lane as we talk about the former first ladies we've had in Ondo State, talking about in the recent past of our democracy. Let's go and take a look at this picture. This is former first lady, the wife of the former governor of Ondo State, Adetutu Adefarati. We called her Mama Peace at that time. Then we had Agagu, Olufunke Agagu, was also a first lady in Ondo State. After that, we had the wife of the former governor, Kemi Mimiko. And then we had Arabinrin Betty Ayawa Akeredolu as also the immediate past First Lady of Ondo State. We've had all of these women gracefully occupy the seat of the First Lady of Ondo State. Would you say that what we are having now is, because as I'm saying it, is something very different. We had respect for the office, though it was not, it is not a legal office recognized by the Constitution, but we had some respect for the office of the First Lady of the state, and as it were, at the presidency. Do you think that in the case of Akeredolu, we were able to replicate same respect and dignity that we gave to this former First Ladies to Ayawa Akeredolu?
Yeah, sorry to say, without missing words, Betty Anyang Akeredolu threw that office to the dogs. That exotic office. Yes, you said it's not being gazetted, it's not by law, but the three people you have mentioned before now, that is Mrs. Adefarati, Mrs. Agagu, Mrs. Mimiko, these are complete omoluwabi, complete mothers. But sorry to say, Betty Anyang Akeredolu, she's nothing but a 419 kingpin. I'm sorry to use that language, but that's the truth. She threw that office to the dogs.
You're alleging.
Yes, alleging, but I'm just telling you, I stand by it. Let her take him to court, and I'll give her the proofs why I said she was running a conventional 419 cartel in the government house. Okay, now, Taye, you have mentioned all these names from Mrs. Adefarati, Mr. Agagu, Mrs. Kemimiko. How many of them have you seen on the front burner, social media? How many of them have you seen exchanging words with the indigenous of Ondo State? How many of them have you seen having issues with the citizens of Ondo State? How many of them? And I want to take you back now, and the viewers watching me.
Okay.
For the past 6 years that Betty has held sway as the first lady of Ondo State, I want Ondo State people, I won't say the whole world, because Ondo State people are the ones that are close to her in Ondo State. They should mention one place where Betty gathered people and give out gesture and gave out money to the people of Ondo State. They should mention it. Only one place, only one.
Our office is not a humanitarian office, as it were. Does she have a right to give money out to citizens? Is that a
Thank you. If I don't know much, I know of Mrs. Kemi Mimiko, a gentlewoman for that matter, and a complete mother and housewife. She has what you call Bebiro. Then in Ondo State, Bebiro in Ondo State, Bebiro comes to give to the people, come to help the people, come to help women in labor, give money to people, give support to people, and alleviate the sufferings of the people. Tell me which project does Betty has that is giving out to the people? Okay, mention one and I would.
Let me give you an instance. I've heard of more that gathers those students, young students, teach them about solar panels and a lot of things.
Okay, let's take it one by one. I know you have mentioned Bimor. Let me address Bimor first before you go to Prekan, before you go to Fogoso. Let's take it one by one, please. And the whole world is watching me. I'm not here to castigate anybody. Good. You mentioned what now? You mentioned Bimor, right? Bimor is a program where they train our children on solar energy, computer, whatever, and whatever, this and that. Where they gather some of our youths. In that project, Betty did not spend a dime, a kobo in that project. Rather, Betty used Bimor as a money-making venture. Example is this. Bimor Go and check it very well. Anything I'm telling you, one air. Bimor is being sponsored by Osopadek.
Okay.
Osopadek quarterly spent nothing less than 40 to 50 million. Even I think it was 100 million, if I'm not mistaken, on Bimor program. The Ministry of Women Affairs. Go and check the budget. They have a column proxy that address Bimor. Understand? These people, they are these major sponsors of Bimor. That's why you have the like of Tope Daniel, essay on gender. She's the liaison officer between all these agencies. That is coming from the corporate bodies apart from other MDAs. Other MDAs in Ondo State, they are the sole sponsor of that program. Apart from that, other leaders, other political appointees in the states, they are major sponsors. They will tell you that also the local government chairmen, they are the major sponsors. So all those guys, when you see them at the Bimor camp, maybe you see about 100 of them. Yes, it's a good gesture, very good gesture. But on whose expense were they there?
Okay,
They
so
were
let me
there.
ask you. You gave an instance of Bebiro from the former First Lady, Mimiko. I didn't think she used her personal funds to do Bebiro. It must have been a program that was either possibly approved by the office of the governor or whatever
Okay,
ministry
let me
she
tell
was
you the
there.
difference. Let me tell you the difference. You are very correct. But for the
Please.
Bebiro, Mrs. Mimiko does not go out of her confine. Apart from the budget, all these things have budget in the office of the First Lady, which is enough to take care of that program. So Mrs. Mimiko did not go out of that confine of our office of the First Lady to take care of Bebiro.
How sure are you about that fact that she didn't go out?
She didn't go out. I'm telling you, I'm an investigator. She didn't go out. Mrs. Mimiko did not invade Osopadek. Mrs. Mimiko did not invade Women Affairs for money the way Betty and her syndicate invaded all these places. Mrs. Mimiko did not task any political appointee in the state. All political appointees in the state pay money to an account that belongs to Betty. Quote me. All political appointees, they are listening to me now. They are listening to me now.
The program.
Every money that is being gathered is paid to Access Bank account, solely managed by Betty. Quote me anywhere.
Okay, so let's begin to go into the content of the releases you've been churning out. Of course, it's in the public possession. You made a whole lot of allegations, and you already mentioned Osopadek sponsoring some of the projects, anchored by the former First Lady. And you mentioned Tope Daniel, who was one of the aides of the former First Lady. Yeah. According to you, before the unfortunate passing of Akeredolu, you claimed that she absconded from Nigeria with her children, possibly to evade arrest or investigation. I think that as a citizen of Nigeria, she has the right to travel whenever she wants to, if her work with the Lady permits her to leave Nigeria. I don't think we should go that
far. With due respect to you, Taye, please, I don't want to be so rude to you. Don't tell me that I should not go that far. The damage that Betty did to the people of Ondo State. In fact, I should go beyond where I am today about her. First of all, you mentioned Osopadek.
Yes.
To collaborate my allegation, a commissioner in Osopadek but stressed my allegation about Betty for the past 4 years. A commissioner, he's popularly known as Bonsui. I forgot his first name now, but he's popularly known as Bonsui Akiti. He collaborated it. When he blew the whistle about 3 months ago, that Osobatek is spending most of his money on Betty, hundreds of millions to sponsor our program. And this is what I'm telling you that Kemi will never interfere in Osobatek. Agagu's wife never done Osobatek. It was this woman that came. He took over Osobatek as her own office. And coming to Tope Daniel,
yes,
is a known fact. Tope Daniel was a teacher in Ibadan, and the father of Tope was close to Aketi. That was how they smuggled her back into Ondo State. And when he came to Ondo State to deceive the people, she claims she's from Owo. She's not from Owo. She's from Ekiti State. The lid blew open when the father died. She did a very elaborate burial for the father, because at least at that point she cannot go and bury the father in Owo. So they haven't any other option than to blow out the lid. Tope came. Tope, when he came to government house, he was attached to Mama. They call her Mama. That's how they call Betty to Mama. And Tope is this type of person. And if you know Betty very well, Betty is a type of woman that listens to petty talks, gossips. So Tope trade is our issue is to come when it's, in fact, it got a point when they see Tope kneeling down in front of Betty, they know that there's trouble somewhere. Tope was instrumental to the sack of the former Commissioner for Women Affairs in the state, because he was the liaison officer between Mama and the ministry and the Sopadec and primary health care. All where monies are, she's in charge, liaising for Mama. So whatever they come to tell Mama, and the Mama, their own Mama, not my Mama, their Mama is Betty. She doesn't even take time to verify issues. She's this type of person that listens to petty talks. And Tope's her trade is to come and start come and gossip of people to you. So she rose and became a powerful monster. That's Tope herself in the government house. He became a powerful monster. And why is it when Aketi died that she carried her children and fled the country? If you're so passionate about what happened to the family of Akeredolu, why didn't you wait? As I speak with you now.
You also mentioned, sorry to cut you there. You also mentioned in your release the CPS of the former First Lady, Toby rather, Fademu. Maybe she's still in Nigeria, if I'm correct. Maybe because if she's also in the same syndicate, like you say, maybe she could have also.
Yeah, she may be. I don't know about where aware about where she is, but all I know is that they are all syndicate of the. They are all the ring syndicate of the 419 scam in Alabaka. I'm mentioning scam, and I'm bold enough saying to the whole world that Betty Anyang Akeredolu, understand, was operating a 419 conventional. Let me put that word conventional, because why is it conventional? Conventional is that the real Capone, who is the head of the ring, she's original by the office she call herself. You know, unlike 419, unlike the real 419. For instance, now I'm a disguise as the group MD of NNPC. You know what I mean? I mean, what they do then is just to go and inside that will just give me the office of the group MD for maybe about 1 hour or 2 hours, where we usher in my client. Understand? They call it Mugun in the 419 war. Right? Usher my client, finish and get out. But in this case, the real Capone is in the office. So you will see him. You will see her. And if you want me to explain to you their modus operandi, I won't mind to explain to you how they operate.
We'll get there. Let's take the second program that the former First Lady had to tag while on that seat. Is Brekan. She had Brekan even before she became the first of Ondo State at that time before her exit. And I was part I was privy to attend some of the event because, of course, you know, as a journalist and a broadcaster, we cover a lot of events. I was
Mhm.
there, and she's proud to say she's a survivor of breast cancer, and unfortunately, so her husband also had cancer. Maybe one would say it is he who wears the shoes that know where it pinches. Maybe that was why she was so passionate about Brecken and giving awareness around the state and even outside the state, like we saw that she did. So I wouldn't know if you have any other comments apart from her passion as a survivor of cancer.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that question.
Yes,
First of all, maybe you don't know, or maybe Ondo State people don't know that I wasn't involved with Brecan, but my own wife, my only wife, my present wife, was the treasurer of Brecan till 2018 when we left the shores of Nigeria. So that to tell you that I'm privy to their style. Brecan is nothing again than a deceit. The major fight I had with Betty Ab initio, that was in 2020 or 2019. The major fight I had with her was when a woman approached me from Okitipupa, because I was doing my own thing, my own way, helping the people too. So she now beckoned at me, say, Egbonja, there's an issue here in Okitipupa. He knows I'm passionate about things like that. And I said, what is it? He said, there's a woman here that is suffering from breast cancer. And the woman has tried several times to see Her Excellency. That the first time she saw her was the last time she saw Her Excellency, when they brought her to Her Excellency. The Excellency said, that is Mama Betty. She said that you go and take the picture of the woman. They took the picture of the woman with the breasts. And that picture was displayed on the website of Brecan to deceive the international donors. She used that woman picture to collect money all over, both abroad, both at home. Because if you are a politician, you come to her, the first thing will tell you, she will show you the woman picture that, oh, this woman is having a breast cancer, I want to help her. Oh, if you're having an appointment, anybody she sees. In fact, they even have what you call crowdfunding. The crowdfunding is like they go, if there's a party, if there's a function, she recruited these girls. They'll be going with envelope for crowdfunding for the First Lady Brecan project. This woman that she displayed her breasts, her decayed breasts. The picture was on the flyer that they were using to collect money from the public. So this one the woman got to me. She was trying to link me with the woman, that breast cancer woman. I was able to speak with the woman. The woman was in tears. He said she has been to Akure 3 times. After the first time, I now printed that picture. I said, you go and show her that picture. They show her. I said, yeah. He said, this is me. And unknown to her, Betty has been using that woman picture to rake in millions of naira. And she abandoned the woman. The woman said she will come to Akure. She will spend the whole day from Okitipupa. She could not see Betty. So when the woman came about 3 times, the woman lost hope. She lost her hope. And she went back home. Behold, the woman died. And that was where I was furious. And I came on air. I posted the woman picture. You see my page, on my Facebook page. And that was in 2019 or 2020 or so. I said, Brecan is a fraud. Brecan is a fraud. Because in the first place, somebody will come to you and say he has an issue, he has a problem. I cannot afford hospital bill to treat the cancer she's having. The first thing you will tell her is that go and register with Brecan. And that registration is not free. You pay again. You are adding to the sort of the injury of the person that is in problem. The woman died. So I blew out the lead. That was the first major quarrel I had with Betty. I publicized it everywhere. Everywhere on social media, I said this woman, she's fraud. Her break-in is fraud. And then they were trying to get back at me. They are trying to say, my wife, she was the treasurer. My wife said, she doesn't even touch money. The issue of treasurer, finance secretary is all on paper. All the money goes to their access bank, their bank account, which is being the signatory to that account is Betty solely. So that was the first major thing we had with Betty, and that was where I delisted Brecan. That was a very big damage I did for Brecan, because I wrote to the Rockefeller Foundation, I wrote to Ford Foundation, I wrote to the United Nations, I wrote to all a sort of money. I said this woman is fake. The woman died. So what happened is that she quickly rushed and called Alaka. I forgot her first name. Alaka was the chairperson of Okudupa then, one lady from Okudupa. She quickly rushed. Meanwhile, I have my insider everywhere. I'm trained to that for that. I have my insider. So they are telling me that she has constituted some committee to rush and go and meet the family of that woman. Because I blew out the lead now. She's not looking for cover up. They go to the woman's house of Okudupa. They met the woman's husband and 3 kids. So when they started, the man did not know that their mission. The man voiced out wholeheartedly that my wife had been trying to see Her Excellency. She could not see her again. She could not see Her Excellency again until she died. And they were using her wife picture to collect money. And the woman did not get a kobo until she died. They now quickly shut the man up. They now told the man that, look, they brought money. They brought 200,000. I'm quoting figure. They gave to the man. They said this money is from Her Excellency. That she will come, that the children she left behind, their Excellency say she will take care of them for scholarship to school, whatever. That never happened up to tomorrow. So they now restart their camera. Alaka is among them, the Okudupa woman. I'm sure to be hearing me. They now restart their camera afresh. Unknown to them that my own insider has gotten the first camera where the man has complained bitterly. They now brought another camera when they gave the man money. You know poverty. They now teleguide the man what to say. Okay. I thank the first lady for everything. She tried her best, but God knows of the best. Why my wife died. The man changed everything, but unknown to them that the first clip was already with me here in Canada in less than 2 minutes.
Wow. So for time's sake, I think we got the gist there. Anybody who has listened to this long story would understand. And let's go to Fowoso, because according to the name, Fowoso is the assumption for wives of political appointees and also female appointees of the state. And I could remember one time that the first lady was having a speech when she got into the post newly. I remembered she's saying that their government is not going to be about what the government is going to give to you, but what you can give to the government.
How can you be using spoon to fetch water and pour into the ocean? Does it make sense? They are the government. They have the money with them. And you want the poor masses to contribute money to you. Does it make sense? Fowoso is a scam. Fowoso is that all government appointees, they have how much they are contributing for Fowoso. Apart from that, I told you again, all the member of our syndicate, they identify some certain bourgeois individuals in Ondo State. They co-opted them into Fowoso. That is why you have what they call Mama Fowoso, Iya Fowoso, Baba Fowoso. Those names were not given to them free of charge. They were contributing. Like in Ondo South that I know very well. Chief Albert Akitoye, popularly known as SOT, is the Baba Fowoso of Breca. I'm sorry, he's Baba for also of Ondo South and Central District. He lamented to me. He said, I'm telling you now, I'm quoting him. I'm talking about a week ago. He called me and told me, he said, for also is a scam. That is SOT. He's the former chairman of the government. He's the former House of Rep member, Federal House of Representatives representing Irele, Okudipa Federal Constituency. So I'm quoting him now. I'm quoting him on air. He said, for also is a scam. That he he himself alone, he sank more than 100 million.
Wow.
Into Foso.
Could it be that this contribution is to help women or people in the rural areas, because it's a different way to contribute? Was it under duress, or let's get that clear?
Thank you. You mentioned it. You have mentioned it. It was not under duress.
Okay.
It was sycophancy, eye service. Let me mention to you here, those people that refuse to do so also, and they are government officials in Ondo State. One, the commissioner then that resigned, Commissioner Yetunde Adeyanju, Mrs. Yetunde Adeyanju from Odigbo local government. She refused to join for also. She didn't join for also because she knows her onions, because she doesn't want to do eye service. She doesn't want eye service. She refused joining for also. Commissioner for Education, the wife, Brafemi Agagu, the wife refused to join for also. She refused because they were not ready for sycophancy. Madam Ademosun, Mrs. Ademosun, the one she accused of giving agbo to the husband, she refused to join for also. So for also it's not mandatory, but because of all these sycophants, all these our people that are sycophants, they know all these things. They just for also they will be contributing their own little money to the account of that also, and that account is solely managed by Betty. You heard what Henry said. Henry, who was his PA. Henry now is in Wales. He's in the UK as I learned. Henry was his PA protocol. She said that Mama said they should all be contributing every month into that account for future appointment for them. Can you imagine? So this woman she's collecting money from everybody.
Okay.
So I'm just mentioning names. So for also a scam. That's how she went everywhere. You know, she run a scam, and that scam comprised of Tokpe, Daniya, Alex Uka. Even that same Henry that is talking now was part of the scam before they fall out. Right? Then the one you mentioned his name now, the essay on the media. These are part of your scam. Then the man in Chelsea supermarket, now supermarket, all those people that are part of the syndicate, they are the one that will go to town and bring mugus for Mama. They will bring mugus. And Mama will see them.
You're laying a lot of serious accusations.
Let them take me to court, and I'll bring out all the evidence before them. I'll bring out people that are there. I have my insider that gives me all this information. Insider. I have it. Yes. Maybe you have not watched my page of for this morning. I mentioned on that claim in Ondo South, Ondo oil palm. How they brought this guy Wale from Lagos. He said he claimed he's from but he's from Ekiti. The son and the mother brought that guy. They finish on Okudipa oil palm. They finished that place. Billions of naira. They swindled from there. I want to talk about Akungba, where Betty herself drove to Akungba to go and see the VC, to meet the VC that he won the consultation of Akungba. The man said, "Okay, I will give it to you." The person that was the company that was doing the consultation in Akungba before, they are charging 2%. She said no, she wants 6%. And the VC declined. Do you know what this woman did? What she did? She went back and she withheld the subvention that's supposed to be given to Adekunle Ajasa University. She withheld the subvention.
Okay,
she withheld the money.
Does she have, as a former first lady, does she have that kind of power without some kind of backing from
Excuse me. You know, I don't like when people say don't talk about the dead. Somebody has died. Don't. I'm not in that kind of scenario, that kind of ideology. We should talk about the dead, so that we that are living, we can learn. But that by the time we are gone, people talk about us. So we should talk about the dead. And I'm quick to ask them, if you say we should not talk about the dead, where are we talking about our Lord Jesus Christ? Why are we talking about Prophet Muhammad? Why are we talking about them? If we say we don't talk about the dead. To come to your question, Betty was in charge of the state. Aketi was a weakling. That's so. This was buttressed by Aketi special assistant on special duty, Doyin Odebowale. He said it. So my story, Betty now called the VC. He said, "Can you see now? Your subvention will not be paid." He was telling the VC, he will take that subvention. He burst into a corner until the VC accepted to give the consultancy of that university to Betty on a 6% instead of 2%. And the first payment she got in the first quarter was 350 million. I'm quoting you figures. And when they wanted to bid for the Senate building of Akungba for the roofing, he came again. She came again. They have done the bidding. In fact, the Akungba university wanted to use their internal manpower. The civil engineering department, they have made the costing of the roofing of that Senate building. Understand? Because they want to cut costs. They arrived at 67 million to do all those things. This woman came, he insisted that her company must take that contract. She was given that contract. I don't know that.
Do you have a name of the company? We said a company.
Yeah, a company. He has various companies. Various companies he has. Many companies. I don't know whether they have done the roofing or the innovation of that Senate building, but she said she would do it for 180 million, and she was given the contract as against 67 million that the Department of Civil Engineering gave. So he bust the university to a corner because they know that if they don't give it to her, she will withhold that subvention. She's in charge. Betty was in charge of the state. Even when Aketi was there, she was in charge of the state. Betty was in charge of primary health care. The man there married to an Igbo woman who is close to her. She was in charge. Betty was in charge of Osubadek. Tell me the other economic sector she's not in charge. She was in charge of everywhere.
Okay, we are already trying to fight for time now because
okay. Yeah.
You said a whole lot of things that might not be so, good about the former First Lady. Are you saying that in the whole of the 7 years, there was nothing good that came out from the former First Lady in all our programs, or maybe personally, or whichever way?
Well, if you say the First Lady, whether anything good come from her, I will tell you nothing. Nothing. But if you talk about the husband, I may have my own other view. But for the First Lady, for Betty, and if you have been my follower on social media, I have been saying it for the past 6 years. I said Betty only came to Ondo State to steal, to loot the economy of the state, and exactly what she did. Betty has one mind when she was coming to Ondo State. She came in to come and loot the state. Before Betty became the First Lady, Betty was having a fish pond, only one fish pond in their house in Ibadan. Only one fish pond managed by her. Today, Betty has a whole village she bought in the outskirts of Ibadan. that she converted to a fish pond. In fact, she has the largest fish pond. Just of recent again now, about 2 weeks ago, they told me that even on your way to war, whether it's Yere or whatever, that there's a fish pond there. She owns it too. She owns the biggest private hospital. It's not finished now. Building private hospital on hectares of land in a central district. I don't know. She's not a doctor, but she's building a hospital. Are you not wondering? She owns.
It's not illegal.
Eh?
It's not illegal. It could be a business.
I know. I'm just telling you. I don't know. Maybe because the daughter is a doctor and the son married to a doctor. Because the Rotimi Junior that is here in Canada, the wife is a doctor. So maybe she's planning all that for them.
Okay, you just that is where I'm going to. Sorry to cut you because our time is really fast spent.
No, okay.
There's this picture that has been viral about Akeredolu, the late Akeredolu, his son, and then the former First Lady herself. And that, like you said, most people claim that former governor was not in charge of governance in Ondo State, but his son and wife were. Do you have any comment on that statement or assertion or allegation or whatever we want to call it?
Yeah. Well, it's not far-fetched. It's the truth. The son is in charge. What is the Director General of implementation and whatever? I don't even know the condition of all those things, but I know it's the Director General in charge of the state, in charge of project, in charge of implementation, in charge of approval and payment. So tell me, who else again? What is the function of the governor? That is the function given to him. If there's any bidding, he's the one that will approve the bidding. He's the one that I'll say you will shortlist the company for any job. He's the one that will make the approval. Then during Agagu's time, they call it due process. And what Agagu did during his time, then it was divided into three central districts, headed by 3 different people from 3 different central districts. But this one now, Aketi took everything and gave it to the son. So the son does everything. All the commissioners report to him on their budget, on their project. They come to him to defend their project from this little boy that did his NYC in 2018.
So if all of this
is in charge.
Actually true, it really they are true. I want to believe that we had appointees in the state, and then we have lawmakers in the state, we have stakeholders in the state, we have people in Ondo State. If any of this set of people had got wind of maybe half of what you've said, why is it that nobody spoke out?
They all know. They all know all these things. They know. Because if you are following me for the past 6 years, I've been a voice. I have released nothing less than 150 videos on the Akeredolu. Go and check my wall. On their shenanigans.
One reason you're here today.
Yeah, on their shenanigans. On all these things. They all know. But because according to that's one quote. If they are not foolish followers, that won't be bad leaders. That won't be bad leadership. Because the praise singers, they have the Ondo State indigens. The women that will put on gele. They'll be shouting, Mama Digita, Mama Digita, Mama Digita. They are the one, they know that what this one is doing is not right. Okay, let me give you an instance now. Just very shortly, please. During her sojourn in our central district, when she wanted to contest for Senate, she went to a gathering where our own women in Ondo State followed her. In fact, our women and men, they relocated to our village. They spent 2 weeks, some spent 1 month with their own money. Some of them are even sleeping on couch, sleeping on ground, just to high service. They went to a gathering, to a campaign with her. Ondo State people went to a campaign with her. Do you know what Betty said? Betty was talking to her own people. Vote for me. If you vote for me to be a senator, I will do more than what I'm doing. As I speak to you now, I have employed more than hundreds of our people into Ondo State civil servants. I have given contracts, more than 100 of contracts to our people from Ondo State. He was saying it there while our own people were seated. Most of them there, their own children has no job in the state civil service. Most of them there, their children have no contract. And he was saying that in their presence, rubbing it on their faces.
But if they are qualified to get the job or the contract, I don't think that is illegal.
Come again?
If those people you said from constituency or Igbo, like you said, got jobs or contracts in Ondo State, I don't think that is illegal.
It's it's illegal. It's illegal. Very, very illegal. When we have our own children, our own people who are eminently qualified, and they apply for that job, it's just that will be a first refusal to the indigenous of the state. Can one Adebayo, can one Mrs. Taiwo or Mrs. Taye be a first lady in Enugu and come and pack our own kingsmen to Enugu civil service? Is it possible? It's not possible. Okay, but our own people are the one that gave Betty all this leverage. Because as I said earlier, if there is no foolish followers, that won't be bad leaders. But our own people, they were pressing her. I even learned some of them that went to radio or Freak said not quite long. Governor is okay. He's jogging. He's kicking. He's doing this. He can operate from anywhere. He can govern from anywhere in the country. He can govern from Kutuwenji. He can govern from anywhere. Those people, this is what are coming from Ondo State people, knowing the fact that these people came. Now let me tell you, Betty, her son, they have all left. They're not come back to Ondo State again. It's either Betty will fly over Ondo to Mimibiam and fly back to Ibadan. Igida Eyefo. Okay, the only thing they are owing us now is to bury the husband and their father. After doing that, they are gone. They are gone. Igida Eyefo. They have come to steal, loot, and they are off. They are gone.
Okay, I would have wanted to ask you: do you think that these allegations will find their way to the court if all of these lootings that you claim actually happen? But before I ask you that, because our time is almost gone, today Ondo State has a new governor, His Excellency Lucky Aiyedatiwa. Do you think that is going to follow in Akeredolu's footsteps, or he has a mind of his own?
Well, I don't know what to say about that, because actually since I've been sworn in as the governor, I think I spoke with him twice, right? And honestly, to be candid with you, he's a complete gentleman. The way he spoke with me, though, we talked, and because I challenged him, on many fronts, and he took his time to explain to me. He's a complete gentleman. And I wouldn't. For what his operation is now, I cannot say. We are still waiting for his for the coalition of his cabinet. Then we'll know when from there where I will now know what to say. But as at now, he's still arranging himself. He's a complete gentleman, I said. And the two times I spoke with him, he's a man of respect. And with my experience with him, he listens. Because we spoke at length. The time we spoke, at least the lowest time we spoke together was at least an hour, 30 minutes together. So you can imagine, he gave me his time. We spoke at length. So for now, I cannot still measure anything about him. Let's just see how we kickstart his governance.
Yeah, kickstart his governance. He has one of the toughest first hurdles to cross right now is picking his deputy. Do you foresee him not making a major mistake at this point?
No, I think that's the reason why the issue is still dragging up to now, because he's doing consultation across board. He's doing consultation so that he won't make a mistake. That's what I think. So, because if you had wanted to appoint, he has the prerogative to mention anybody's name by now. But I'm sure that why it's delayed up to this moment is that he's doing major consultation across the state. Understand, with people of I think about 2 days ago, he visited our sage, Fashuranti. So he's doing consultation. I'm sure he has his own joker. So let us see what he brings out.
Yeah, if we could peep into your intelligence, would you have any name or names of possible people or persons you might have penned down for that position?
I don't have.
Okay. So the last question that I wanted to ask you, because I wanted us to finish all these ones, do you think that all these allegations you've laid against the former first lady of Ondo State would one day or soon find their ways to a court of law?
Thank you. Well, it's in two ways. I want on those people to think back, right? Nobody steals from the state and goes scot free. They always pay for it. That's what they call from my place. They call it malukun. That is the greatest auditor. He will audit you. So if they escape the court of law, they cannot escape the deity of Ondo State. Go and check all of them that stole from the people. Go and check them today. They reduced to ground zero. I can be mentioning them to you. Go and check all of them. All of them that just change the people from those states. They always gnash their teeth at the end of the day. So Ondo State is a peculiar state that you don't just come, you don't just come and think you want to bamboozle, you want to steal their loot and go away with it. You won't go scot free. But for in the issue of the court of law, we are going to pursue it. We are on the issue of anti-graft agency. I'm going to pursue it. But we still have a backing. That I'm telling you. That one is even the most. Look, Ondo State is very peculiar. Go and steal our money and go and see. Go and see those people that have been in positions that stole. How is their lifestyle today? Go and check them now. They are there. I want to mention name. They are there out there. They have been in position in Ondo State. But within 1 or 2 years, man, look, will audit you. All those money will go. Boy, you will collect it from you. All those money will become history, and you will now come and afflict you. He will afflict you with one strange disease that you will spend all those money, and you will not have that person will not have, and they don't have peace. Go and check them out now. Even right from the military administrators to date, go and check their lifestyle. Go and check their history. I'm telling you, I'm a student of history. Go and check them. They don't, and that makes me to remember a caption I read in James Adley Chase's book in those days. He said, "You cannot steal from the mafia and live to enjoy it." Ondo State is a mafia state. It's a mafia state. You can't live to enjoy it. You can't live to enjoy it. Never. Let me look at them. They are buying houses everywhere. They have villages everywhere. They have all this everywhere. Let us see how they will end.
Thank you very much. It's been explosive with you on the program today, Jump Out Nigeria, and I've had all the way in the studio human rights activist and CEO of Savannah News Canada and Nigeria, Olu Jimi Adekanle, popularly known as Jack. I must confess to you, it's been hot in here. I can feel the heat, and I'm sure that of course Nigerians can feel your pulse. And someday we'll also want to have the other side of the coin from the former lady of Nigeria of Ondo State, pardon, on this show to also give us their own side of the story, because we have to balance this up. Thank you so very much for honoring our invitation and for being here today.
Thank you very much, and God bless you.
My name remains Taye Chasogun. I will be back, like you know, I can bet that, and again, compliment of the season. We're waiting for a befitting burial for the former governor of Ondo State, Akeredolu Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. May his gentle soul rest in peace. But until then, let's ensure that Nigeria is a safe place for all of us. And Ondo State, the Mafian state, as said by Jaf and Maloko, are on standby to ensure that all
to audit, yes. That is the greatest auditor.
Thank you very much for coming, and it's bye for now.
Thank you.